She... Welcome, sir.
I am Dr. Reed.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane? So the bitch really is a nurse, then?
Yes, she's a nurse. And quite a good one.
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was...
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescription.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day.
Well, you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual...
Violence is increasing in the...
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in Bet.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only...
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
You again?
Goodbye. Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed.
A scientist?
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane?
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than...
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in our country.
So, you're not exactly a fan?
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients.
Have you any friends?
No.
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery.
You sent him on some preaching crusade?
As a true believer.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you...
But you are seeking answers, aren't you?
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself.
Really? And what would be your answer to this?
We must fight the disease before...
What is left, then? Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan?
God will recognize his own. More than once, this city has risen from the ashes.
Purification by fire has proved useful, but where do you stop? Burn the clothes? The buildings? The corpses? Worse?
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad. And dangerous.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pomp.
Joseph,
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church, while he continues preaching his fraudulent...
I have heard enough for today. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed.
Please be my guest.
Oh, really? Are you an artist?
I'm a poet, sir.
Are you aware that your life could be in danger?
But this is where I must be to feel the...
If some misfortune came upon you,
Well, you for a start, my dear doctor.
I understand your need for
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doc.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu?
Yes. The enjoyable silence of...
Most people fail to understand my perspective.
May I ask what your...
Not at all.
If you say so.
Thank you, Doctor.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu.
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott.
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it?
Do you not think it
On the contrary, sir.
What can you tell me about...
Not much. And that's the beauty of it.
And have you ever tried to learn more about...
Maybe I prefer she remains an...
I'll leave you alone, sir. Good evening, miss. I'm Doc... I know what you're thinking. Tell me about Richard Nethercott. I understand he is quite fond of you, Camellia. I know you understand what I'm saying. You don't seem to need my medical attention for... Very well. Hello again, miss. Melia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Very well. Hello again, miss. Very well.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with...
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon?
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza?
There's a war going on.
It's a disgrace. People are left to die alone. No one is properly in...
These are bad times indeed.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever.
I must confess, some of my rational views have been shaken by recent...
I'll remember to stay away from the district's roughest streets then.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth?
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories.
That's quite honorable of...
Not at all, sir. And
Goodbye, Mr.
It's locked.
Would you like me to revive you? Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling.
All right then, but be quick.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane?
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothea Crăciunescu. She came from Romania like me and many others.
You seem to respect her.
Dorothea helps the sick people of Whitechapel. Everyone should respect that.
Clayton Darby claims he will expose the crisis in Whitechapel to all of London. Do you believe him?
I believe Clayton's courage will erode with time.
Are you talking from experience?
I've seen your type come here to get a good fuck in a cheap room or a dark alley before going back to their fancy houses in the West.
Why this skeptic?
How can you speak about starvation if you've never been hungry? Or about poverty? Or anything else you have never suffered from?
Christina, have you been examined?
I don't like doctors or hospitals.
Considering your...
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now.
You can put your own life in danger, that's your...
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with.
Do you need any assistance?
It depends on the price of your medicine.
I will see you later. Goodbye, miss.
This is despicable.
There's nobody here.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be from Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nethercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid. Cheap price, good quality. Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid.
Imprisoned by your daily routine.
Good evening, Doctor. Can I help you?
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
I'm afraid one of the nurses from the Pembroke Hospital may be involved with unsavory activities.
Ah, could it be Dorothy Crane?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He never goes out.
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
I still have questions about that Darius fellow.
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nithercott.
Where can I find this Mr.
He spends most of his time lurking around.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter.
Good evening, Mr. Nithercott.
And good evening to you too.
May I ask you a few questions about...
Extraordinary part of town, is it not?
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu. Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious.
I'll leave you alone.
Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
don't have your money.
Come on, Baron, you know the game. You pay for it. This district seems to get uglier every year.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again? Go away.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though.
It's locked, all right.
If you want to talk to Dorothea, you must go across the courtyard and take the stairs.
We've not been formally introduced. May I ask your name and occupation, sir?
I am Darius Petrescu. I'm here to keep snitches and spies away from Dorothea. And I also run this little print shop.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia.
I do not believe in the afterlife.
Who is she, really?
She's not from around here, that...
You say she has no close family.
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly follows her around.
Are you not worried for her?
She is as brave as she is tough.
Are you in love with Camellia, Mr. Petrescu?
Don't be stupid. If I had met her when I was younger, we could have won our revolution.
So Dorothy's real name is not Crane. She seems important to the community.
More than you can imagine.
I know you fought for your country when it was occupied, Darius.
I know my days are numbered, and I know I won't see my homeland again.
But Romania escaped the grasp of the Austro-Hungarian Empire.
It is not the country I fought for.
How did you meet Nurse Crane, Darius?
I'm her oldest friend in England. Dorothea and I share many ideas about this country, and about the country we left.
You mean occupied Romania, don't you?
Really? Then perhaps you have more in common with Dorothea than meets the eye.
Do you have any family left?
Who knows?
Don't be embarrassed, sir. If you must know, my own father disappeared.
It's quite awkward to talk about our families like this.
This war won't last forever.
No. I have taught strength and determination.
Goodbye, Mr. Petrescu. What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Razvan Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain. Diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Aspirin and salicin, you say? Why not some warm milk and a kiss on the cheek? Where are the quinine salts?
Tried buying, borrowing, even stealing. There's none to be found, Doctor.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, Doctor?
It's too dangerous to operate with these convulsions. Sedative, nurse. Do we have any anesthetics?
I'm sorry, Doctor. None at all.
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy? Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Don't question me, nurse. I need a drain. Now.
Yes, Doctor. He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see. I must first suture the artery. Find the wound. The source of the blood.
Needle and thread, Doctor.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor.
A dose of epinephrine, now.
Yes, Doctor. We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could? Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
I doubt you're here to test my bedside manner. I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
I've come to put an end to this insufferable blackmailing, Dorothy.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
Dr. Swansea is a sensible and honest man.
It's easy for you to say, Doctor. These people cannot go to the police.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
Listen very carefully, Dorothy. You will erase from your memory everything you pretend to know about Lady Ashbury and Pembroke Hospital.
Let that rich bitch off the hook over my dead
Nurse
body.
Crane, enough. Listen as if your life depended on every word. I know you've a generous heart who gives freely to those in need, but you shall walk away from the shadier streets of your business.
I will never abandon...
Dorothy, the discussion has come to a close. Your clandestine activities in the Resistance are over. Let it go.
I'll let it go. Yes. All gone.
Oh, this one stinks already.
He's mine! Bloody leech!
Step away, sir.
Crush the leech, boys! I see how he likes a bit of fire! Bloody leech!
This district seems to get uglier every year.
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Kill it, boy! Burn it, boys! Fucker!
I would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reed. I like a man who speaks his mind.
Hiding your true appetites behind a facade of compassion. Bravo. Very clever indeed.
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You are but newly born in this world.
So in the end, the accusation was true, wasn't it?
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiries concerning your blackmailer.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
The case is closed, your ladyship. The person who took advantage of you has, shall we say, seen the error of her ways.
So who was it?
My lady, the blackmailer was dealt with using the utmost discretion. The culprit's identity is of no relevance.
Thank you, Jonathan. That is exactly what I needed from you. You have proven your loyalty, so, as a friend, please accept this small token of my appreciation.
Thank you, my lady.
If you have an inclination to learn more about vampires or your current situation, I will be glad to aid you in your quest for knowledge.
Why did you save me?
I could hardly stand by and watch such a promising young blood as yourself be torn to...
William Bishop wasn't the vampire that created me then?
No, Jonathan. Whatever their strength and demeanor, Skulls are the progeny of careless vampires.
Why does Dr. Swansea allow you to feed on the patients of the hospital?
Dr. Swansea is a good and compassionate man.
And no one suspected you of the murders.
As you well know, suspicion has recently fallen on me of killing for pleasure. But you have my word, Jonathan. I take no pleasure in taking a life.
What do you know about this Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole?
The Brotherhood is well known amongst London Vampire Society.
I know this is beyond the pale, but may I inquire your age?
Really? And I thought you were gentlemen. If you must know, I'm 27. I've been 27 for a long time now, and 27 I shall remain.
Very well. But I believe there is more to this than you are saying.
A lady has to have some secrets.
I bid you farewell.
I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient. Razvan Vasily was infected by Spanish flu, but also has the highly unstable blood of the Scowls. Is the London vampire epidemic transmitted through the flu? I should talk to Dr. Swansea about it.